What's good? What's good?
Yo. So yeah, that shit was in the game, yo. They playing the Pistons right now, so he broke a bone in his left hand.
Is Blake
Kevin
playing?
Love out for, huh?
Is Blake playing in that game?
No, I haven't checked on there, but I was talking to one of my buddies earlier. I know they were saying that Blake playing playing, but I guess he read something that said Blake wasn't playing, so I don't think he is.
Oh yeah. Damn. Yo, it's injury season.
I mean, it's like all the All Stars getting fucking injured. Everybody on the All Star team. So who taking Kevin Love's place in the East now? Who was somebody that was claiming they got snubbed in the East?
Shit. The East is trash. Who they saying got snubbed? I don't even think like. I don't know.
Especially because you're talking about a center. What other centers is in the East? Hassan Whiteside maybe?
That's all. Andre Drummond.
He got in already. Andre Drummond is in for John Wall.
Damn.
I mean, unless it's gonna probably be somebody from Miami. I know Dragic is having a good season this year. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody from over there get in.
Damn, my cat was scratching the shit out of that. He would have to go take a shit like as soon as we start this.
You said what?
My cat.
Your cat came on vacation with you.
I can't leave him. No, they ain't gonna take care of his ass. Otherwise, he going to dead. I'm about that too. I'm about to go back and it's gonna be like fucking. They ain't gonna touch his fucking litter box. I mean, this one's not in a litter box. This is fucking cardboard, but you know, it's cardboard and cat litter. I think it works.
It works the same.
Pretty much. Now my luggage is like awkward as hell. It's like it's like I got clothes, the mic, the PlayStation. I brought my tablet because I got like little keyboard for my tablet and shit, so I can and mouse, Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, so I can kind of turn into like a little computer, so I can do some stuff. But it's like a half working week. I just don't know how to take 4 days off. Like that shit it's just not gonna happen for me. Like, I gotta do something. But, you know.
Yeah, I started looking into all of those little 2-in-1 bullshit computers and shit.
A lot of them are nice, yo.
Yeah, that shit expensive as fuck. I wonder if it'd be cheaper for me to build my own computer.
It depends what you're doing.
Huh?
I said it would depend what you're trying to build. That's another touchdown.
Shit, no, it don't. I was looking. I don't know what the difference between a gaming computer and a regular computer is, but like when I started typing shit on YouTube, the first thing that came up was a gaming computer, so I just watched the video for that.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I would assume with like it being a gaming computer, it would be super fast. You know, I'm pretty sure all these smart like computer gaming motherfuckers know what they're doing. I would assume. And he had on glasses, so I know he's the truth.
Hey, yo. Man. Oh, shit. Anyway, though, it's been... When was our last one? I know we've been inconsistent as fuck as far as, like...
It's been a couple weeks. We got live. Shit happens.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Once things kind of settle down a little bit, we'll try to be consistent again.
Yeah.
You've been running, I've been running. I've been doing shit. You've been making a lot of shit happen. Doing a couple of collabs and shit like that.
I've been doing a lot of talking the last couple weeks. That's a fact.
Networking.
That is a fact. What is it? Although the one dude, I swear, like, and he was trying to do it again today. My man's would just be kind of saying shit to say shit, cause I figured out a way to, like, I was posting like just like trying out like the meme generator and shit, and so posting like memes on Instagram, since I can't record everything, just kind of putting stuff out there that's like topical and stuff that I would be talking about. I'll say turn your TV down a little bit, Joe, just because the audio is coming through loud as hell.
Got you.
But so I was like, but he was over there, which we can start with this. This is not necessarily one to start with, but since we talking about Kevin Love breaking his damn hand or his finger, and Blake was supposed to be in that game, how you feel about the Blake trade?
I don't care.
That was.
And I mean, when I say I don't care, it's like I don't think
it matters.
It
like
does anything for it's like not effective.
Yeah.
It's not like I mean it's cool for Detroit. You know they got the new arena. Maybe Blake could bring some excitement down there and all of that. But it's like as far as like them mattering as a team and stuff like that, it doesn't make a difference.
That's what. Like I didn't get to podcast about it, but I was like in my head because like I practice. Like even on days I don't record, like I kind of practice in my head. I'm like, okay, what would I say today? How would I do it? And it's like what they did is. They're basically still the Clippers.
That's what I said. That's what I was telling I was talking to my buddy, and he was like, "Oh, that was a good move for Detroit." And I was like, "You playing with DeAndre Jordan again? Like, can't hit free throws, rebound, and dunk. Like what? Like I'm like, it's DeAndre Jordan."
Yeah, and I think Drummond's a slightly better player. Like I think he does a couple more things than DeAndre, but he doesn't do. Or I'm sorry, he does.
I mean,
what
he
DeAndre
shoots
does
about
better.
5% better. I guess he shoots about 5% better at the free throw line. Or however, I think Drummond got his percentage up to like 60 or something this season.
Yeah.
So, you know,
he does what Jordan does, but better. But he doesn't do anything different.
Allegedly.
And then
allegedly better. I mean, in the East.
And it's
we're gonna give DeAndre the benefit of the doubt for being in the West.
That's fair. Let me go. I was trying to take that bitch to the house.
And I still feel like Detroit got finessed. Like I mean, you know you got Blake Griffin. I was like, number one, it ain't no way I'm giving up Tobias Harris and that first round draft pick.
Right,
I mean, unless they needed to give Tobias Harris up for the extra space, but other than that, it ain't no way y'all getting him and that first round pick. I mean, he might not, he ain't like great by any means, but he's a player that's gonna give you a steady, 15, 16 points a night.
That he's young
and shoot a decent percentage, and he can play defense.
Like, yeah, the Tobias Harris part threw me off. I mean, if you think about it, they're the second best 4 or 5 in the league now. It's a far drop off, but
you said they're the second best 4 and 5 in the league.
Yeah. And it's only because Blake was in the same position when he was with the Clippers as him and DeAndre, but the second best 4 or 5 in the league. It was just a big drop off.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what other 4 or 5 duos there are, but I could probably find somebody close to those two. As far as Blake and Drummond go, not the other guys.
Which, speaking of, I was so fucked up.
You cried.
I was so fucked up Friday. And you know what? It's how you know, like, karma's some bullshit. So, gosh. So I left Saturday, right? That's when I got on my plane. Friday night, I wasn't gonna do shit. I was just resting, right? I'm like, you know what? I ain't never been on a plane before. I'm gonna just chill Friday night. I get a text and it's saying my little cousin wants to go to the father-daughter dance, but her dad's working late. Like he wasn't gonna get off work until like 9-10 o'clock. And so they asked me like would I take her, and I was like, in my head I was tripping out. I'm like, do I really want to? Any of that, but I do, and I'm thinking, I'll be the nice person, right? As I'm there, I get the text, yo, whole cousins ain't tear his shit. What? Nigga, like I just did something nice and good in the world. I thought I was supposed to, get good things back. Like how I put positivity out and I got negativity back. Yo, it was a bad night. I'm like,
Sorry, man. Anthony Davis got this.
And I believe in
I mean,
AD.
they only down 6 to Sacramento right now.
Are they down 6?
Yep.
They was definitely up in that game, but that's how they play. Get up and
only
get
down 6. He got this.
That injury was devastating. Like that's like, I think that's just a bad injury for the NBA. Like,
No, that was a bad injury for the Pelicans.
And the NBA. Nigga, don't.
Look, it's only right at this point in the NBA. It's probably about 3 injuries that could be considered bad injuries for the NBA. Well, no, probably I say about 5 or 6, and that's either Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, James Harden. Those are probably the worst ones for the NBA now.
And DeMarcus Cousins, nigga.
I fuck with Boogie. I hate it had to be him. Boogie, my nigga. I hate it had to be him. In my Drake voice.
Yo, that shit hurt. That shit just hurt. I got 12 catches for 277 in this game. What else happened in sports? So what? Cousins got fucked up on Friday. John Wall got fucked up, but yesterday is when it came out. Or was that earlier today?
Well, yeah. Well, I think he was already like not playing, but I guess the results and as far as what the surgery and shit came out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man.
So Love got fucked up today. Does the Love injury matter?
Yes. And I mean, I say yes because I mean I mean, it matters, but it kind of matters because the playoffs start in like April, right?
Yes. Hold on.
We in January. He out for 2 months, so he could be out for the start of the playoffs. And if they don't make a trade, you said watch out.
Give me like 2 minutes and send the invite. All right. No, that was my barber. He gonna be playing on the stream, but he was asking to call me to send the invite. Yeah.
But I was saying it could, but I mean just with the play. I mean because what they say 2 months, is it 8 weeks exactly? Is it gonna be a little over? And I mean with him being a second best player, and not only that, but shit, the most size that they have on that team. And I know they still trying to make a trade. I mean, they might be trying to still make a trade for DeAndre or something like that, which it might be easy to get him now with Blake being gone and them kind of, you got the Clippers waving the white flag saying that they rebuilding and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they could try to finesse. They could send IT and a couple other pieces and try to finesse Lou Williams and DeAndre Jordan out of there.
I think he's gonna be clutch this season. Like,
I mean, you need to get on the playoff team.
Facts, but I'm saying if he get on the playoff team, I feel like he's gonna be clutch as hell.
That's what I'm saying. I like the Cavs would get. I mean, but they would definitely they'll have to give up IT and Tristan Thompson, which is easy because you put Tristan Thompson in LA, Tristan Thompson would probably only have like another like maybe 2 seasons in the league before he all Kardashian out.
Hey yo.
And that's real facts. Put that nigga out, he gonna be all up and down Calabasas. Calabasas Tristan. That's gonna be his new name. That's like the nigga got a baby on the way. He out here glowing and shit.
Hey yo. Actually, I want to switch uniforms in here. I'm about to whoop this nigga's ass in the ugly uniforms. Where these shits at? Where these shits at?
But like I said, they could give up IT, Tristan,
I was going to
Shit on. Do Shumpert still play?
Yeah. Him and Jay Crowder been some ass all year though.
Oh yeah. Jay Crowder, IT, motherfucking Tristan. They can try to get Lou Will and DeAndre back. But I know don't nobody. Really, ain't nobody gonna make that trade though, because they know what Cleveland need, and they know Cleveland. Number one, Cleveland know damn well they ain't doing shit in the Cleveland. It's likely like Cleveland could not like if Kevin Love was to not play in the finals, I'm betting against Cleveland making the finals. I don't have them making the finals, and they might not be able to beat Toronto.
I think they can beat
Kevin
Toronto.
Love, if they don't, you said what?
They can beat Toronto. I hate Toronto. I'm just
I don't fuck with them niggas. But I'm not saying without Kevin Love, and I mean if they don't make some type of trade or something. I mean there's still a chance IT might be playing like IT last year or some shit, and then make some shit happen with LeBron. But if he don't get back to that, then it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, someone that or one of the guys I listened to actually made a really good point about IT. Is it's like if you look at IT's numbers, like he averaged 15 in Sacramento, 15 in Phoenix, and now 15 with the Cavs. He's really only got the 1 year where he was the 29 or 28 points a game last year with the Celtics. So it's like they might have fucked around and you know me, I'm not I'm not a hater, but I'm not a Kyrie fanboy. But if you traded Kyrie for a nigga who's averaging 15 a game and can't play defense, you fucked up.
I don't see, but I still believe though the biggest piece to that trade wasn't Isaiah Thomas. It was that draft pick, Brooklyn's draft pick, which is gonna be like a top 3 pick probably.
Yeah, because Brooklyn gonna be trash until I die. Like if New England's got to be great for this long, Brooklyn's gonna be trash until the day I die. Can't nobody say Brooklyn.
And that's the thing. That's why it's easy for that. Like they could trade IT away for just about anybody. Because one thing about it, they could trade IT for Kemba. If he on the trading block. Like now, if LeBron was planning to stay over in Cleveland, which I guess it's uncertain. Especially because I know him and the owner don't fuck with each other. But
can they trade IT to LeVar for LiAngelo?
Shit, you trying to get LaMelo. That little nigga over there going crazy in Lithuania. He just had 40 or something like that.
You won't be trading draft picks for that nigga's sons.
And then it's like I know niggas like they playing in Lithuania and shit like that. I'm like, them niggas are still kids and they playing with grown ass men and they fucking they averaging like over 20 a game.
Yeah.
But that's how you know that's how you know like the discrepancy as far as the skills go, like from America to the foreign countries that kind of play ball. I mean, besides like Spain and like Europe and shit. But like with some of these third world countries and shit, it's like we could send our kids over there to go fuck them up.
Not literally. That was what mind you, that was the whole thing with the Dream Team. Is the Dream Team was the first time like America sent adults to go play. Otherwise, it used to always be college teams. Like then, which is really fucked up when you think about it. Like America was like, all right, cool. We always gonna send college niggas there. And the first time like, niggas like America. Damn, the first time America lost, we sent Michael Jordan over there. That's like the definition of like how. And I ain't trying to make light of what it is now, but it's like. That's the definition of like, nigga, we don't like what you doing. Let's go drop a nuke. Like
that's the definition. That's the definition of Trump telling North Korean nigga that I got bigger butt than you.
Literally, it's like you think about that shit. It's like, all right, maybe he's not the first nigga to do this. Like we apparently, what the hell? It's like apparently America's just been doing this shit. We don't like you. We sending bombs. And then we sent Mike. We sent Magic, Bird, Chuck. No wonder them niggas don't like us. I just figured out why there's so much hate in the world, Joe. Dream Team. Whoever the fuck sent them niggas over there.
Alex Smith traded to the Redskins.
Nigga, you just breaking news all over the place.
You heard it here first. Fuck that nigga Woj. Let's see.
Okay, I know Kirk Cousins is supposed to, there's a lot of talk. He's supposed to be signing with Denver. I fucks with that. Talib gonna get traded. I don't necessarily know. I don't fuck with that, but you know, you got to make salary cap and shit. Ooh, bang! Oh, I was trying to make that nigga fumble.
I'm about to just anytime I break some news, I'm gonna say my sources. So like I got sources and shit. Maybe I'll actually get sources.
Hey yo, what was that?
My sources tell me that Alex Smith is to be dealt to the Redskins by the beginning of the season. To be straight on my Stephen A. Smith shit. Sources close to me tell me that. But that shit blasphemous blood.
Nigga, what was it? So, and we kind of started off differently, but it's all good. So, I got a soliloquy, as you so elegantly put in the text message. But I feel before we even get to the soliloquy, can we just take a second and appreciate that Wayne's back? Because even though we probably haven't stopped listening to him, there's been about, how long will we say that Wayne's been kind of, putting out some less than, putting out bullshit?
Probably since about, 2014, 15 maybe?
So
14 or 15.
So we got a couple years of some less than stellar work, right? Like that's fair to say.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you've heard all, but obviously we got D6 on Christmas. Merry Christmas. And then I'm about to make this play. And then we got D6 Reloaded. He should not have caught that. Oh, get the fuck out of here. So we got D6 on Christmas and D6 Reloaded. You got a chance to listen to all the D6 Reloaded?
Yep. Well, most of it. I think I'm a couple of tracks off, but I listened to the majority of it.
So that's in total.
At one point, I had it on shuffle at one point, so I might have actually heard all the songs.
So we got 20 or 30, 35, 36 songs. I think it's 15, 16 on D6 and then 20 on Reloaded.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I know we was talking about it the other day as far as where. We'll start with there. Where do you rank Dedication? I know you said it was probably like the least listened to, but like if you had to rank just his discography as a whole, like where's the Dedication series going in there?
So what are all the series we ranking? The Carters, the Droughts.
We were everything.
I know, but then the thing is, I mean, it's like we ranking the series as a whole because the thing is, that's the most he got. He got the most dedication than anything. So I mean, it's like this, I probably don't listen. Like I said, it'll be hard for me to rank them like that just because I mean, the dedication is so many. He got so many projects. But I mean, so many of the dedication projects because technically now with Reloaded, that's 7, right?
Yep.
So I mean, it's like those pretty much take up the most space in his catalog. So I mean, and that's why I get how it's easy to say that would have to be the best just because it's it's the most projects in that one. But I mean, I would probably the Drought and the Carter. No Ceilings. The first one is my favorite. It's probably my favorite Wayne project.
Agreed.
I think I still prefer Sorry for the Wait, the first one, over most of the Drought projects.
Sorry for the Wait might be the first one. Is arguably like it can make a case for being in my top 3 Wayne projects. I think the first Sorry for the Wait is so fucking hard. Like
Well,
that's
yeah,
what
I
it
mean,
should.
my top three Wayne projects as a whole might be like, sorry, well, and if I were to put them in order, just off the top of my head right now, if I had a list of songs and albums in front of me, it might be different, but I would go No Ceiling, Sorry for the Wait, and then possibly The Drought. Which one is the double disc? Three?
Yeah.
Probably The Drought 3. That's just off the top of my head. Like, now, if I had, like, songs and shit like that all in front of me, it might be different.
Okay. Okay. I would probably. No, Sailing is definitely my number one Wayne. As far as just an individual project, it's definitely my number one Wayne project.
To me, that was like the most, like, that was probably like the most, like, as far as like, that was probably one of the most metaphor heavy projects ever.
That project's just genius. Like that is legitimately like
and not only that, but it just as far as music as a whole, that was like one of the better years. Like as far as like when you listen to every instrumental that he chose, every one of those songs was a hit.
yeah, and you can make a case in every single one of like Run This Town's probably my favorite, and which is crazy because Run This Town, and I think he bodied it better than the people who did it, which the people who did the
Kanye
song
Spaz don't Run This Town though. I mean, and
he did.
Wayne killed it better than they did, but Kanye Spaz on that shit.
He did, but that's what's so incredible about it is that song is Jay-Z, Kanye West, and Rihanna, and Wayne went on there and spazzed the fuck out. Like it's one thing if you have like Ice Cream is my shit, right? But it don't take much for him to like body Ice Cream like better. It's different when like the nigga who initially had the song, he also bodied the song. Like one of my favorite Royce songs when Royce did the Forever remix. I think it's the Bar Exam 3. Like when he did that shit, it's like he bodied the fuck out of that, and the niggas on that song is crazy. So it's like when you do something that people already basically like already flexed on, and you went better and you did better than them. I gotta give you props for that shit. But I'm just glad, like I said, like Wayne is back. Like both D6 and D6 Reloaded, and it was like in Wayne fashion too. Even though I think I think his rapping style's slightly different, which is fine because a point I'm gonna get to in a second is the nigga's going on. He's on 20 plus years. So, but it's the way he did it in terms of like, okay, he dropped a mixtape, then he dropped another mixtape that had even more songs than the first mixtape. It's like Wayne's always been, I don't necessarily want to say oversaturate because I always feel like that has like a negative connotation to it, like, oh, you doing too much. But Wayne's always been the nigga who's like, I'm gonna just keep putting out like you gonna have to deal with him. Like if you listen to hip hop, you listen to rap, like you have to deal with Lil Wayne because he's just on so many songs and has so much music out there. It's actually like one of my favorite ET quotes is that nigga is like he speaks so much. It's like if you just fuck with motivation at all, like you gonna have to deal with him. Like he's everywhere. Let me see here. Really? That's bull. Trevor Simeon, you with some ass. Trevor Simeon with some ass. But anyway, so I wanted to get into, besides just the fact, unless you got something else you want to say really quick about D6.
Nope. I mean, it's like to me, Wayne did what he was supposed to do. It's like I'm not like shocked by it. I'm not like wowed by it. It's like Wayne being Wayne.
I think my thing with it is just like, because I wasn't sure, and like I've defended him the last couple of years. At the same time, kind of knowing it's like, okay, like the projects and songs he's been on has been less than stellar, and some of them.
I mean, the only reason is like because it's like you hear one song where you like whatever, then you hear another song where it's like damn Wayne killed that shit. And it was like one of the things where it was like I knew I never doubted like whether Wayne still had it or not. I'm like especially with all the shit going on with the label and Birdman and all that. Sometimes it's like you know, you might get lazy with some shit.
Yeah. I think my issue, I guess, was, and it's slightly older, but it's like it was that he had about a 6 month stretch around the time D Ford came out, and he had a couple like really lackluster features, where I was like, okay, something, like
Which
that.
one was D4? Was that the one that was ass?
That was straight trash. That was the one with the skateboard on it.
Oh yeah.
um, but nah. What I was saying though is it's like, so where then here's a better question before I get into my thing. Where would you where would you rank Wayne? And maybe not even like an exact spot, but are we going like top 20, top 15, top 10, top 5?
Is this like a personal preference type of thing, or I mean, well, I guess it's always gonna be a personal preference type of thing, but
It
I
or
mean,
the
Wayne is go
being
ahead.
as subjective as you can. So like yes, taking into personal account, but also still kind of recognizing like where certain guys generally stand and or sit in the hierarchy.
Definitely top 10. Definitely top 10. Possibly top 5. I mean, if it's like personal, Wayne is like easily top, top 5, maybe top 3. But like, being subjective, I would just say, I mean, when you're talking about influence and stuff like that, I think Wayne is probably I'm thinking top 10 is like, that's not debatable in my, from what I think.
Did he make the Billboards one when they came out with the top 10 list?
Uh, Honestly, I don't know.
Because I remember that was the one everyone was heated about because Pac wasn't on there. Um, was Wayne on that shit? I want to say yeah, because I know Kendrick made it. Kendrick was 9,
I
which
think Wayne might have been 10, or Wayne was like just outside the top 10, because I think I do remember a conversation about Kendrick being at a certain position and Wayne being somewhere else. I don't remember. But I mean, and it's like I think even with the way that I judge music and rank artists and projects and stuff like that is like most projects that I like. I mean, most rappers or stuff like that. If it's a project of theirs that I like really like, most of my favorite projects usually like reflect a certain point that a certain point in time that I was at or whatever. Not even saying that like I was doing certain shit, but it's like how like certain shit it just take you back to a certain time in your life or something like that.
no, 100%.
Like or you remember like, oh, I was doing this shit when this came out, or like you got like a Wayne album or a Wayne song that might take you to, it might be like a spot that you remember like, oh yeah, I remember I was doing this shit around the time this was out.
Talking shit up on Xbox. uh, nah. No, but it's not like when I was trying to put together like my list, and I think we was both. I think last time when we did this, I don't know if we like officially ranked them. I know we did the top 5 of our generation the one time, um, but we had a pretty consensus that it's like if you gonna put a nigga at number 1, we both were like, yo, Hove should have that spot, right? Like considering totality of his career, um, albums, classic accolades, like he should be in the number 1 spot.
And not only that, but I like even aside from that, like the shit that he like, I think like Hove like I think Hove does too much. Like imagine a nigga signing every nigga he ever beefed with to Rock Nation. Like, come on now.
Nah, Hove is like
Every nigga he's beef with is signed, like damn near every nigga he's beef with is signed to Rock Nation. Fat Joe, Rock Nation. The Locks, Rock Nation. Um, like it's more, even if I can't think of it, but it's like, just sign, niggas that have Jim Jones, Rock Nation.
and like and and so the case I'm gonna make though is simply on a music basis because I think culture basis, Hove has to be the GOAT. Even if you consider now what he's doing, like with the sports agency and stuff, like culture, overall impact, yes, Hove got to be the GOAT. If we simply talking musically, my case for Wayne being the greatest ever is if you look at totality of his career, which he's, how many guys can you legitimately say are 20 plus year vets? If you look at the guys who just put out albums for 20-year vets, oh shit, hold up here, I'm about to, alright, I thought I was about to get tackled. Is we had this year, M put out an album, 20-year vet, Hove put out an album, 20-year vet. Wayne started when he was what, 13? I think is when he got officially signed. 13 or 14?
Yep.
He's 35 now. 20 plus years, more projects than any nigga that's in that class, and like by far more projects. Like he's got double the amount of projects, if not damn near triple. Like especially what M's got. I want to say for sure double what Hove has. Who else is 20 plus years? Damn near probably triple what Nas has. Nas probably has the least amount of projects out of all them niggas. His peak point was just as high as anybody. Let's go. Oh, fuck. This is so hard to do while I'm playing Madden. This is why. So you got a peak that's as high as anyone. Hove, M, Kanye, Pac, Big, whoever you want to put in that top 5 category. He's got more projects, more albums, more songs, just more content than anyone in that top category.
Well, what's your definition? Well, now what do you mean by content? Like,
just total, like the amount of songs and amount of music produced.
Now, all right, now, and now with the amount of stuff Wayne has put out, how much substance do you think he's given with that?
Wait, say that one more time. Sorry.
Like how much substance, like as far as like, and how much substance do you think is in the music he's releasing? He's released over that period of time. Because I love Wayne just as much as anybody. And I'm like when that period of time, like when I'm growing up and listening to Wayne around the house, and then my mom and they ask me, they saying what is he talking about, and saying that he ain't really talking about nothing. And I never disagree with him. I mean, it did change the fact that I like the shit. But I can't say that, you know. I mean, what's the substance in it?
Okay, and with that, I would counter with, does he have the kind of substance and content that like Hove, M, and these other guys do?
Well, none of them have the same content though.
Huh?
I mean, none of them had none of them. I mean, even Nas and Hove, like, I mean, M and Hove, I mean.
Which is why I was gonna say it, but it's like I think it's the impact of your content. It's like, what are you talking about, and how does that affect people around you? How does that affect the culture? Wayne, as far as, oh wow, everything was gonna catch me. Metaphorically, metaphors were not put on the same level before him. Like, and he's got songs that are damn near, I mean, there's more metaphors than any other kind of fucking sentence you can think of. Like, he's got songs that are damn near just all metaphor. Oh, what the fuck? That are damn near just all metaphors. Which, you see that reflected now. Metaphors are a much bigger deal. There's a lot more niggas trying to use metaphors when they rap. There's niggas using more metaphors when they rap.
Who? Who? Just throw a couple names out there.
Okay, so to use names is weird though, only because.
No, I mean not saying that I got like a point against what you're saying. I'm just saying in general.
I just think there's more metaphors used. If you listen to hip hop and rap in general, the amount of metaphors used in the 2000s and 2010s is far more. Well, maybe the latter half of the 2010s. You know, niggas just mumble now, but like in those
I mean, no,
decades,
he definitely changed the culture.
like fuck, that was a dumb
And
pass.
I mean, but I think that I mean, I think with, when it comes to like, that's why I say music is so much based on opinion more than anything, because it's like I could easily say Wayne is, you know, in my top five all time. But it's like, I mean, it'd be hard for me to say that, like, it'd be hard for me to put him over Hove, because it's like, I mean, now like I said, it would depend on what he did with D5, because now, like I said, I was like, I don't think it matter how good D5 is. I don't think it would change Wayne's ranking in my place unless it was like some type of introspective shit, like, which I doubt Wayne is coming with, which I can understand. But it's like, the reason I'm saying that it ain't really too much he can do to change his place is because I know the content that Wayne is releasing, and I know, you know, it that type of shit don't really, the way that it used to like appease me, it doesn't today. Like, I could listen to all of Wayne's old shit, and still fuck with it heavy. But then it's like, even with some of the newer shit, it's like it comes and goes easier.
Mm.
But then that's because, like I said, it ain't really, the shit don't really connect. It don't connect with me like how it used to. So that's like, I can say I fuck with it, but then it's like, I know I probably won't ever listen to that shit as much as I listen to any of the other shit.
No, and that's fair. It's, I guess like my thing with Wayne is, um, to me it's just the skill of rapping. It's not necessarily. I'm not listening to him to hear, like I'm not listening to him for storytelling. I'm not listening to him for, um, like to get a song that's gonna make me feel some kind of way. It's just simply the pure essence of this nigga has 12 yards of total offense. Um, Unfortunately, I'm racking Trevor Siemian at quarterback, so you know that's a problem for me too.
Big problem.
Like his running back Le'Veon Bell has 9 carries for negative 33 yards. Like my man. Um, but it's kind of the same way. It was like if like I don't listen to someone like Royce for content. Or for that kind of content, I should say. Let me take that. Not trying to clown Royce. Um, I actually had notes written down for this shit. Remember, I had like 4 points I wanted to hit on specifically, but I can't find that shit right now. But it was like, to me, it was like if you take just the longevity of his career, the fact he's going to be 20 plus years. The fact is, he might go until he's 40 theoretically, and that'd give him 25 years, which is probably the longest career in hip hop, like ever.
Well, what do you mean by
Like 25
Because
years
what
of
year
just
did
releasing music. He first dropped at 13. Like that was his first song that came out at 13.
and what year was that? Do we not? Do we know?
22 years ago, because he's 35 right now. It was fucked up. He's the same age as Nicki.
You said that was 22 years ago. When we in 2018, so that was what, 96.
Yeah. Like.
And I mean, and then of course we talking about
And
strictly mainstream.
and he's got classics. He's one of what 5 or 6 guys who can say they ran the game for an extended period of time. Obviously, what qualifies for extended period of time, I know is up for debate. Which I'm not necessarily trying to get into that debate right this second, but definitively has a run, has as high a peak point as anyone, is going to end up with 23, 24 years rapping, is going to end up with multiple classic albums, is going to be, if not the greatest, one of the 2 or 3 greatest mixtape rappers of all time.
I mean, he could definitely be. I don't even know if I would debate him being the greatest mixtape rapper of all time.
I know, well, I leave it, personally, I'm going to give it to him, but I know there's a lot of people that give it to 50 Cent. But I'm not necessarily, I wouldn't even say, partly out of respect to 50, and I'm not going to disrespect that man, is, like, I wouldn't be mad if someone said 50 was the best mixtape rapper of all time.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad either, but then it's like a lot of those mixtapes, like 50 was releasing with like group mixtapes too. Like, so it was like he released a bunch of G on the mixtapes, so it's like, I mean, yeah, I mean, so are we, if those are the only mixtapes Lloyd Banks released, along with Lloyd Banks having a good mixtape series of his Punchline King mixtapes, are we saying Lloyd Banks is one of the best mixtape,
One of the greatest mixtape rappers ever, just because he was on like the G Unit mixtapes too. I mean, I mean, the only reason I wouldn't count those is just because they were group, they were group tapes or whatever.
No, that's fair.
I mean, but I get what you're saying. There's other people that would debate, got to be willing to debate that.
Yeah.
And I would understand it. Everybody know 50, my nigga.
Yeah, like, it's, and like, the big thing is, even if, let's say, and the thing that always would make it, and kind of the same thing as far as, just, like, total content, or total, like, it's hard just to fuck with Wayne's amount. Like, because it's not only 22 years going strong right now, it's the fact he's got multiple years where he's released 100 plus songs. Like, that in itself might be the craziest statistic about that nigga's career. Like, you have you have 2 years.
My sources just told me James Harden records the first 60-point triple-double in NBA history.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? Hold up.
Hold on, I'm waiting on the stats to come in. He got 60 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. On 30 shots, 19 to 30.
Okay, I have to ask this question because, and I'm legitimately conflicted about it, and I fucks with James Harden, so it's not meant to be.
I'm not giving up my sources. Go ahead with your question.
I'm not going to demean him. Are you buying James Harden? Is this great, or is it the system? Because Harden's about to have some fucked up numbers. And I'm talking about, like, all-time fucked up numbers. Do we think he's really, like, this great?
I mean, I think he's really good. Like, this great. I mean, like, I think on any team, he'll be one of the best scorers in the league. I don't think on any team he's going to be putting up these type of numbers. Like, as far as the assist numbers and stuff like that, I don't think he's doing that on any team. I think he could do it. I think he could do it fine in the Mike D'Antoni system now.
That's my thing. Is I'm like, and it, like I said,
this is like the perfect time for Mike D'Antoni to thrive in the NBA as a coach.
Yeah.
Like, this is what he was ahead of the curve. This is what he was doing in Phoenix. Like, before it was cool.
Like, it's crazy to me though. I'm just like, cause his stats are, like, theoretically, if he plays like this for like 5 or 6 more years, like, he's gonna have, and I'm not saying that he's not a Hall of Famer, but he's gonna blow away some people's numbers, and like Hall of Famers numbers. And I just don't, when I see him, I don't see that player where I'm like, oh, he's so otherworldly, once in a generation type of player. Maybe I'm like, but I wanted to kind of bounce it off someone else. Is like, how good do we think James Harden is? Or how great do we think James Harden is? I think he deserves to be called great.
Me personally, I don't even like James Harden. So it's like, so I mean, asking me this question don't mean shit, because I'll be like, yeah, man, he ain't really all that.
But I mean, I give him his props because I mean he get out there and he play his game, but it's just something about him that I don't buy. Like I'm not fully buying what he's selling. And I mean, he's done it. You know, he's done it consistently since he's been in Houston. He's putting up. You know, he's put up good numbers since he's been in Houston. I mean, these last 2 seasons has probably been like much better numbers. But
Yeah.
you know, whatever he's selling, I ain't buying it.
No, that's my thing. Is like it's. So here's the thing I guess that triggered me, and I get very and I get. But there's. It's basically he's putting up he's putting up Kobe numbers and actually slightly better than Kobe numbers, and I don't think he's in the same fucking class.
I mean, I don't think nobody does because it's like you get. I mean, and this is the one time where it's like the whole argument as far as the times being different. It's like, you know, James Harden shoots a lot of free throws. James Harden gets a lot of fouls that Kobe wasn't getting. You know, and you talking about somebody like Kobe that would getting the extra calls, but the call, like a lot of these calls that these guys get now are calls that weren't being called, even in the early 2000s. It's like he shoot a lot of free throws. And I mean, with it being a 3-point driven league or whatever, they ain't really going, they ain't down there along with the big boys like they used to, and the big boys ain't as big as they used to be.
Facts.
So I mean, it's a lot that and I don't even want to say that to kind of take away from what he's doing, but shit.
Well, because he reminds. Yeah, no, it is, and now obviously I didn't watch this nigga play, but World Be Free, like probably the greatest stat stuffer that nobody gives a fuck about in NBA history. Like that's how I feel about James Harden.
He was the man until Ron Artest changed his name.
Like,
not a world peace.
It was, but like, to me that's what James Harden's gonna be. Is he's gonna have like these crazy numbers, and he'll get in the Hall of Fame. I get that. I just don't. I don't see him as a Hall of Famer. I don't know. Like, I just don't. Not even trying to be like disrespectful to him and say like he doesn't deserve what he's got, but I just think
Paul wouldn't appreciate you talking about his teammate like that, Justin.
I'm just saying, like, and what's even great, you seen the numbers Chris Paul's putting up? Like, Chris Paul been spazzing the fuck out.
What's his numbers like?
He had 38 and 13 the other day. He had another high 30-point game. He set the record. This is the difference in this is what to me looks like and this is what a Hall of Fame, which Chris Paul definitively is, versus what the fuck, what I think James Harden is, and to even some degree Steve Nash was. Just look at the turnovers. Chris Paul has already set 3 different records this year for fewest turnovers during stretches. My man in his first 10 games this year had less than 10 turnovers. Like, he had 8 turnovers in his first 10 games played. James Harden's getting 8 turnovers by the third quarter. It's like, and to me, why that's such a big difference is and Chris Paul says like these crazy stat games, which yes, the crazy stat games are boosted by the fact he's playing in that system. But the fact that, it's the argument where if you have 50 points, but it took you 50 shots and you turned the ball over 10 times, compared to you having 50 points and it took you like 25 shots and less than 3 turnovers, like to me that shows the quality and standard of player you are. So when I see Chris do it, and like call me biased, but the stats are the stats. It's like when you see someone put up those kind of numbers, this nigga has 0 total yards in this game. I'm really about to get my shit fucked up. Oh shit. Oh, where did it go? Where? Oh, now he's got 8 yards. Okay. But when you see a guy who's doing it, he's doing it efficiently, and well, yes, is he getting an extra, 5 to 10 points because he's playing the system? Yeah. But even if he wasn't, the efficiency doesn't break down or the efficiency doesn't stop. And Chris Paul's always been one of the most efficient players. Same as I think if Kobe played in that system, I think Kobe might drop 40 a game in that system. Because Kobe averaged 35 playing iso ball, fucking with Kwame Brown and Smush Parker. And nigga, that might be the greatest achievement in NBA history.
I didn't hear the last part you said.
I'm like,
Kobe.
If Kobe played in the system, he's averaging 40 a game.
Mind you, if AI played in this system, imagine AI playing in this system where, and AI couldn't even shoot, but do you know with these fouls these niggas are giving, you know how many times AI will be at the free throw line?
Like,
and I mean, and that's why, like, I mean, it's like, you know, I know, because even with us being, me and you both being young, and I mean, you know, they talk about, like, the old guy. I mean, they talk about the old guys, talk about, you know, how things were different back then, and it's like even at, you know, at the beginning of, you know, where we able to watch and comprehend basketball, it was different. You know, early 2000s, it's like, the shit is just, you know, I mean, I agree when they say the numbers are inflated.
oh, 100% the numbers are inflated. Like,
I mean, and it ain't the players' fault. You can't, you know, we can't blame the players for this. That's just, you know, the league has just changed. But it's like, and that's why it's a headache trying to compare the different eras because it's, you know, it's just the way the game is called is completely different. Like, it's easy to say, oh, you know, this guy couldn't do this today or that guy couldn't do this back then because the way that the game is refereed is different. If the game was refereed like it is today back then, Steph Curry averaging like 60 a game. Because he gonna still shoot on everybody, and they play way too physical back then. I mean, not way too physical, but you know, with the as physical as they played back then, Steph Curry would be getting fouled every possession.
yeah. That's why I liked, gosh. It's why I loved that Matt Barnes. It's why I like, taking, like, players' opinions into consideration even when I rank guys. Because I think there's something where, like, when you actually play a guy, you're playing under the same circumstance, you're playing under the same time. And, like, there's just a certain part of, like, I'm never going to know what it's like to guard Kobe. I just don't. And, you know, I'm okay with that. I don't need that humiliation in my life. Which is why, like, I liked when he did his top 5 list. And when a lot of these niggas do their top 5 list about who was the best player they went up against, they'll tell you it was Kobe. And then, you know, 10 years prior, they'll tell you it was Mike. It's because I think even players recognize, even when you have someone like LeBron, who, I get it, LeBron's bigger than everybody. I don't give a fuck what era they playing in. That nigga's just a monster. But the way, like, he's reffed now compared to back then, I think is the big difference. Whereas, I don't think LeBron's naturally, like, a bully ball type player, but he gets to play bully ball the way the game is reffed now.
But that's why, like, most players, though, you know, usually, like, when they talk about, you know, players that have played against, like, Kobe and LeBron, like, most players, is like, LeBron is usually maybe 3rd or 4th on their list, and it's mostly because of his size. It's like, and everybody else on their list is, like, mostly skill-based because you can't guard this guy because he's just too good. Like, versus LeBron is, like, always, his size, you know, he big, he's strong. Yeah. Versus the Kevin Durant is like, oh, he's 7 feet. He can dribble like a point guard. He can shoot from anywhere. And LeBron is just like the physical shit. And it ain't to take shit away from him. That just is what it is. But it's like, I mean, even, you know, I don't feel like he is as skilled as, like, you know, some of these other guys when we talk about greatest players of all time.
Not correct. Like LeBron, when I went on the Feud podcast and we was talking about, like, our top 10 players, I'm like, LeBron's 4th on my list, but part of my issue with LeBron is I'm like, he should be number 1. Like, he should, and it's fucked up. Like, he averages the numbers he does and he plays the way he does, and, like, it's like, oh, he should be doing this. He is way too big. He's way too fucking talented. Like, he's built, like religious or not, like, if you believe in any kind of higher power, like, then that higher power, if it was like, I need you to create the perfect basketball player, it creates LeBron James. Like, it's not, Like, it's what kills me when they be talking about, like, him, like, his rebounds versus other guys. It's like, yeah, he should out-rebound Mike and Kobe. He should out-rebound Magic. He's bigger than him. The fuck?
Yeah, it's like he's 6'8". Kobe was 6'6". Mike was, I mean, you know, Mike was what, 6'5".
It's
So it's
like,
like he, it's like what do y'all expect? Y'all saying like he out rebounded Shaq or something.
and it's like, you know.
He should be expected to out rebound guys that he's bigger than, bigger and stronger than.
And it's like with his scoring, it's like his shooting, it's like, which I love now because now they throw the fact of like, well, his 3-point percentage is like the same as Mike's and shit. And I'm like, nigga, no one ever said Mike was a great 3-point shooter for one, so that stat's irrelevant. But you know, unless we're talking about versus the monster.
And it's like not only that, but then it's like you got to look at the big man Mike was playing against. Like look at the big man that Mike was going down, going into the paint against.
Look at the way they play defense on Mike. They could grab Mike's shorts. Like when
like
Mike was doing fadeaway jumpers, niggas was holding on to his shorts.
And I ain't gonna even say it like LeBron didn't play against some good big man just because but he came in. There was still a couple there when he came in, but a lot of them were like on the back end of their career.
And
I'm not counting like, when you're talking about, I'm not counting like the KGs and Dirks and shit like that because these are like, slender built power forwards that you still weigh more than at 6'8".
This is yeah. No, like the best big man LeBron's ever had to go against is Dwight.
Shaq. He played against Shaq.
Nigga, Shaq was on the down.
Solid Shaq though. He played against. Shaq was still good when he was in Miami. When they won that title.
Wait, when LeBron? Well, yeah, but LeBron. That was only the first 3 years of his career.
But I'm saying, he played against him. Other than that, like you said, Dwight Howard was the best he played against, and even with that being said, you talking about like young LeBron and young Dwight.
Neither one of them were in their prime, and by the time Dwight technically makes it to his prime years, like LeBron, LeBron is like well surpassed him.
Facts.
Like Dwight prime should have been like the years he spent in fucking L.A. and Houston and wherever else he was bouncing around at.
Dwight. That's what made Dwight to L.A. Like
he missed his prime. Like as good as he was in Orlando, he missed his prime.
Yeah. L.A. Dwight should have been terrifying. Like if you consider like Kobe, like a couple more good years of Kobe, and like what would have been prime Dwight, that should have been terrifying. And you still had Powell.
Not only that, but then it's like
that's one thing. I think that was another big thing that changed about the league too. Though it was like, when guys not wanting to play with Kobe, guys not wanting to play with Kobe. To me, that says more about them than it does about Kobe. Guys, because it's like you talking about a nigga that just want to win. All he care about is winning. If you go out there and play hard, then y'all good. Dwight Howard still thought everything was funny. Kobe showed him that wasn't how it was real quick.
Facts. Like I low key I get irritated like having to defend Kobe because I'm like, this man's a top 3 player, like a top 3 to 5 player all time on just about everybody's list. And well, I'll say I can't even say that anymore. See, that's what irritates me. It's like, he gets pushed down to like the bottom part of the top 10, which I get in the grand.
I definitely seen them. I forgot who the list was. I can't remember if it was Shannon and Skip or if it was on. I can't remember if it was Undisputed or Stephen A. and Max or one. It was one of them where they had the list, and I think they had a guest on there. Somebody ranked Kobe like 8.
Yeah, that's mad disrespectful. See, that's my thing though. Is it's like why?
But not only that, but then you got 3 Lakers on the list in front of him.
That's mad disrespectful. Especially when the other Lakers like concede that he's that shit irritates me. And I get it.
Like, all right, when it's like, all right, the only player people are arguing being a better Laker than him is like Magic.
Yeah. and I always concede, I think Magic's the most important player in the NBA history. Like him and Bird. What they did for the NBA, even with
As far as the rivalry and shit, I can get that.
yeah, like, and Mike took it to another level, but like Magic and Bird started it, and so I'll give them credit for being the most important players. But it's just like, how? I don't get like it. Wow. But like it like I don't know what else they want from the man. Like I don't know. Because too, and I love it too, because you know what niggas love to say, how many Hall of Famers do you think are on the Warriors right now? Like, just bona fide Hall of Famers. Not necessarily just team success Hall of Famers, but just Hall of Famers.
2.
Alright, cool. So then, is it not fair to say that when Kobe lost his second finals, he lost it to a team with 3 bona fide Hall of Famers? Because Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen was all going to the Hall of Fame, regardless if they won the title or not.
I'm with you.
But I'm like, but that never gets brought up. Is LeBron played all these super teams? LeBron played all these crazy like. I'm like, y'all just don't want to give this man his due.
Not only that, but it's like, all right, well, and LeBron is the only person that went out to go build a super team.
Yeah, he started this shit.
What super team? I mean, besides him playing Boston, but it's like
that was even Boston was even different only because of age.
Well, yeah, but not only that, but it's like, all right, every other team was built up. If LeBron would have stayed in Cleveland, he might have learned something about that. But he got the fuck out of town. It's like, you got everybody talking about like, oh, Warriors super team and all this. I'm like, the only player that they brought in is Kevin Durant, and everybody would say, oh, what about Andre Iguodala? I'm like, Andre Iguodala wasn't Andre Iguodala no more when they got him.
Like
Andre Iguodala wasn't, he wasn't putting up 20 points a game when they got Andre Iguodala.
Yeah, and Andre Iguodala is.
And y'all didn't care about them getting Andre Iguodala before we started having these conversations. Wasn't nobody in awe at Andre Iguodala going to Golden State when he first went to Golden State.
I remember Iguodala. Iguodala was my guy when he was in his first couple years when he was in Philly.
And that was when you had AI and AI.
Yeah.
AI squared.
That nigga was cold blooded. Cause remember that was one of the
But I mean, like, no, even to think about it, it's like, and then that's just like I think with LeVar calling Steve Kerr Milli Vanilli and shit like that. I'm like, I mean, it's cool. I fuck with Mark Jackson, and it's like, I feel like they gave him his. I feel like everybody gave Mark Jackson his credit for the shit he did over there.
Yeah.
But it's like I still say Mark Jackson had David Lee starting over Draymond.
Well,
That's
it's like
if I'm correct. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
No, you're right.
Draymond didn't start until Steve Kerr got there, and I guarantee you, if David Lee was still over there starting, the Warriors wouldn't have a title right now.
So here's
So
the
it's
way.
like you Mark Jackson played a part in getting out and having all the pieces there, but it's like, just because you lay out the pieces to the puzzle don't mean shit if you can't put it together.
What the hell? I was like, what? Wow. I just can't get nose protection. That, and to me, the big difference is if Steve Kerr was just a basic coach, right? Then I think he would have won one title. And then the Warriors would have started to go down. No, 100%. But it was just my thing.
Well,
it's like,
he just won a title, and they talking about firing him.
But I think Ty Lue's the example of what like a basic ass head coach looks like.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You saying if he was a basic head coach, he could have got at least one. And I'm saying, look at Ty Lue.
Yeah, it's like Kerr. If you look at any professional sports team, it's like when John Gruden took over in Tampa, that was Tony Dungy's team. He got one Super Bowl. The team fell apart. If you look at what Jim Caldwell did with the Colts. He got Peyton Manning and Tony Dungy's team. He got one Super Bowl. The team fell apart. Excuse me. Who was my NBA example? It was fucking shit.
Doc in the Celtics.
Yeah, no, 100%. He got one title out of it. Like, the fact Steve Kerr's continuing this to keep going, like, it'd be like if we took over, like, if we ran Google tomorrow, like, Google would still be fine for, like, a couple weeks. Because they got too many, like, they got a bunch of good employees. They got a system in place. Like, we could run that shit for a couple, we probably run that shit for a couple months. After a couple months, you know, they would start to realize, like, hey, maybe these niggas shouldn't be in charge. And that's what would have happened with Steve Kerr if he was just an okay coach. I think he's actually working his way into underrated. But because, like, he's never going to get his credit. Ever. Which is part of what makes that team work. Is none of them niggas care about getting credit. I mean, I don't think I've actually heard Klay Thompson interviewed this year.
That's a fact that everybody always want to talk about how Klay Thompson ain't happy because he ain't getting enough shots. I'm like Klay Thompson be out there happy as hell.
That's what I'm saying. Like my man don't have to talk. Like, he's an NBA superstar talent. Like, I don't doubt for a second, like, if Klay Thompson's on his own team, he'd be Devin Booker. And I fucks with Devin Booker heavy. But it's like, yo, my man is so, like, he gets basically max money. He gets to chill in the background. There's no pressure.
Well,
no one talks shit
it's
about
like
him.
they all getting paid. It ain't like, you know, everybody over there getting their money.
Like, you don't got to deal with the bullshit. Like, I'm like, yo, like, that's a dope position. That's like LaMarcus Aldridge, I think, had a dope spot.
Shit, they might all be, they might decide to pull a San Antonio move. They say, you know, everybody done got their max money. You know, everybody done pretty much got max deals. They might say next time around, all right, we take a pay cut. Everybody gonna take a pay cut to stay together.
Durant already did.
Yeah.
I think Steph's the only one that didn't because Steph he took technically what ended up being a pay cut.
Well, I was about to say they paid Steph. Steph was getting paid $12 million the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was like, you know, that I feel like that's what like was owed to him anyway. I feel like any player that, you know, when shit like that happened to him, like, you know, he could have took a pay cut, but I think that's definitely money that, you know, they should have gave him. And I mean, he changed. You talking about like a nigga that changed the league.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Steph is going to end up top 10 all time. Arguably top 5. Like, what Steph has done, did, and is continuing to. I'm going to start up, I was going to do one.
You said what?